What's going on, guys? Welcome to a new series of episode reviews. This is for Tower of God Season 2, and with me, as always, I have Blue Spade.
Uh,
Um, so I guess, like, right off the bat, the thing that we should point out is the obvious, like, art style change from Season 1 to Season 2.
yeah, I
Because Season 2 has... I thought that that was one of the more interesting things about Season 1 is that it had kind of a unique art style, and then, like, Season 2, it seems like it's more of a... It seems more like a traditional anime look, I guess, is the best way to put it, as opposed to how it looked in Season 1, where it's hard to describe, but it had, like, a unique look, where Season 2 doesn't... It feels like it looks more like a... like I said, like a traditional anime as opposed to how it looked in Season 1.
yeah, it's I didn't even notice it at first until like people keep bringing it up until I realized that
Yeah,
it's being worked on by a completely different anime studio. I think the first
I didn't
the
know
first
that.
studio the studio that worked in season one it's called Telecom Animation. This one is called the Answer Studio, so it's a completely different anime studio that's working on this season. Um,
Well, some people said that the reason for the art style change would might also be because that it was how it happened in the manhwa, where the art style kind of like changed throughout the
yeah,
story.
they
Um,
said they also changed the art style a little bit just to match up with the manhwa or something. But I don't know. It doesn't feel like even like with some of the different um, art styles and I guess the different type of shading and color outlining is it doesn't feel as different as as I thought as I thought going into this.
yeah, I mean, it's not really a it's not really like that far off from how it looked in the first season. It's just like you said, like a different like line work, shading, and all that. It's it's a little bit different. Like you can tell there's a difference, but the overall like the character design and all that, I feel like is mostly similar to how it looked in season one. It's just that there's some differences in how they like how they do all the lines and the shading and everything like that. Um, which I guess it makes sense when you think about how like the manhwa started out and how it looked in terms of its art and how it looks, I guess, where it is with what the content they're adapting
Mhm.
now. Um, but yeah, it's kind of weird that the way that this season starts. If you remember, like how season one ended, and with Baam being kind of pushed, pushed to the well, we don't know exactly, pushed below. Obviously he's not dead, but
Yeah.
Rachel pushed him off a ledge, and I don't know if they specify this, but I think obviously there definitely been like a time skip in between season one and two.
Yeah, they
Um,
like according to several people, they said it may have taken place maybe 5 they said 5 years ish is how
yeah, I
long.
think people say 5 to 6 years, but I don't remember if they actually point this out in the first two episodes of season two that there's been like a
No,
time
I
skip.
don't they never mentioned this. It's people who've read the
Yeah.
manhwa knows there's a 5-year time skip. But of course we do get a recap as to what happened by the end of the last season. Being that of course, Baum got betrayed by his best friend Rachel, who of course like she and the rest of Baum's friends and companions all move up the tower without him. So like, but of course he somehow survives that fall and he gets recruited by I think um what was it? I think one of the other competitors that he went up against, and decides that she's going to end up training him to become stronger. So then, supposedly during after this 5-year time skip, we're introduced to this brand new character out of nowhere. He calls himself Zhao Wangnan. I think he's a member of like the royal family as well. But we also get to see like he's having trouble ascending the tower because he keeps failing several tests, and he's getting involved with with several loan sharks as well.
Yeah. We see that I guess he's in debt, like he owes them money, and they try to come after him for it. and like I guess he makes a deal with them that he will, I guess, eventually pay them back what he owes them. Um, but yeah, we kind of pick up just things from his perspective, and we also get introduced to a few new characters as well, alongside him. Um, he him and this well, we get introduced to him. Like, one of the other new characters is, like, I forget what her name is, but it's the girl that delivers ramen to him. Um, like, she also, I guess, is a participant in the
Yeah,
test.
it's about this. Yeah, it's gonna it's gonna be some getting used to with all this entire new cast because it's yeah we do get reintroduced to Bomb later on in this episode, but it's I mean outside of Wang Nun, it's gonna be a little bit jarring trying to figure out like all the other characters that just get introduced right off the bat because
Yeah, and
yeah.
it's funny because like Baum is the one I'm honestly most interested in learning, like what happened with him and in the time in between, like the season 1 and 2, if with how he's acting now and how he looks. Um, Obviously we get some information about what might have happened because of like the clothes he's wearing, and it apparently signifies he's associated with some organization that is directly opposed to the jihad royalty,
Yeah,
and like it's the FUG, I think it was called,
they call
and
that gang called Fug. That's what they call him.
FUG.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
weird
and
name.
apparently, yeah. So I guess for whatever reason they want to kill the jihad, or well, get rid of jihad royalty. And Baum even says, like, that's part of his mission is to get rid of them, which I kind of doubt, because obviously that's not really what he's trying to do. But I guess he maybe just has to say
Yeah,
that. Um,
and of course,
yeah,
like we also get several glimpses about. I guess his major personality shift ever since the first season because it's obvious like he's a lot more cold and distant in comparison to I don't know how to his more friendly demeanor when he was introduced back in season 1. But I guess his
Mhm.
Rachel's betrayal definitely took a toll on him. I guess.
Yeah, and I think, well, that, and also I think he's now just even more determined to climb the tower because of because he, well, we're not really sure if it's because he wants to get back at Rachel, but obviously he's trying to at least get to Rachel. Or he's even more determined to get to her after what she did to
Yeah.
him. Um, but of course, we don't really know his reasons. I'm guessing like throughout season 2, they'll start to reveal like what happened with Baum, and like why he is the way he is now.
Yeah, and we get they of course like we see that like he's gotten significantly stronger during that time skip. I mean, he can
Yeah.
like back then like we barely even seen him fight throughout the entirety of the first season. Like he just most of the time like he's just like in the background like trying to avoid fights whenever he can. But now like he's just more proficient in hand-to-hand combat this time around. And of course he's obtained some kind of like um I forgot what they call it, like some kind of
Wave
yeah, wave
control.
controlling power or something.
Yeah. Yeah, he can do martial arts, and he can use like this wave control ability to, I guess, it seems like it's some kind of magic that he can utilize. We're not really sure, of course, how it works, but it seems like it's pretty powerful.
Mhm.
But yeah, he easily takes down all of the, like, so the character that we were following through most of the first episode, he encounters Bomb in one of the tests, and him, well, I basically, like, once he arrives where Bomb is, like, I guess he decides, I guess you can choose not to fight, so he just kind of decides not to fight him. And the other contestants that go into this room also decide not to fight him until they get to, I guess, the last contestant that enters the room, and he decides that he's going to try to fight Bomb. And that's when we get like just a fight with Bomb and the other contestants, and we're able to see like what Bomb is capable of, and he's pretty easily able to take down all the other
Yeah,
contestants.
but of course he doesn't kill any of them in time
Yeah.
before the time limit runs out. But he Bomb does take some amount of damage, but only because he was kind of distracted. Um, I guess when what was it? Wang Nan mentions that he needs to climb the tower, which of course causes Bond to flash back, uh, to his conversation with Rachel on wanting to climb the tower, which of course leaves Bomb open to being attacked by Wang Nan's whatever his like Pokeball like bomb things that he throws.
Oh yeah, so that's something we should have mentioned. Yeah, so Wangdun, I guess like he uses these. I guess they're like small bombs or something, but yeah, they do resemble Pokeballs. Um, and of course, he's surprised that his attack was even able to hurt Bomb at all.
Yeah,
But we see something else too is that Bomb does take some injuries from it, but he's actually able to heal his injuries with some ability he has. That and of course Wang Yun is surprised by this because he didn't. I guess he's never seen any kind of like regenerative power before. Um,
yeah, and
but yeah,
yeah. So eventually, like they with the time limit run, this of course like it helps buy Wang Nan and the others time just to not get beat by Bomb, which of course eventually they get themselves into the next room, which of course they introduce even more characters, which honestly I just can't remember off the top of my head. Just they introduce like
there was one guy just I think they referred to him as the
yeah,
prince. Um, and then the I forget her name. They called her like the flamethrower girl. Like I think we did briefly see her in like one of the previous tests that Wang Nan was involved with. That she had I guess burned all the other contestants except him.
yeah. So, but of course, this next test that they're involved in is basically just like it's like basically just like a simple strength test by like hitting this like this orb, and then it measures your um I guess I don't know like your hitting ability or strength,
Your
your
power level.
power level or whatnot. So they basically just go through it one by one until like Bomb is like the only one who can reach up to like literally over 100,000 um like points or whatever how it's calculated. So so then like I guess the proctor of this exam tells Bomb that he needs to, because he's the winner of that test, that he needs to choose at least I think 7 or 8 other people to join him to the next floor. So this leads to like all the other contestants like literally pleading and begging um Bomb to pick them. Even often like like one of them making excuses that he has a family, and then like one of them is his daughter or whatnot.
Hmm.
But of course Wang Nam just calls him out, and Wang Nam is like gets even more shameless about like I think he like I forget what he said. He's like he just want like he'll like he literally just calls Bomb his master at one point.
Yeah, like they all basically plead for Bomb to try to take them along with him, but Bomb basically just turns all of them down and says that he doesn't need anybody to come with him or to help him, and that he can take, he can do everything himself. To which that this definitely makes the proctor upset because he's like you have to take somebody along or you have to take people along with you for the next test. Um, but he makes a deal with him saying that if Bomb can pass this one test by himself, that he can go on alone. Um, and then we also see like another, later on we see a conversation with the proctor, and then this I guess one of the guys running the tests, where he says like he plans, he basically plans to take Bomb out, I guess because he's part of the fog,
Yeah.
and he's I guess a threat to Jihad. Um, and then we see just the other characters. Just I guess there are rooms where they can relax before the next test. So we see which ones are I guess get rooms together, and this part that didn't really make a lot of sense to me. Apparently that one girl, the flamethrower girl, who was like she's part of some royal family, but she apparently assumed that Bomb was a woman. I guess maybe just because he has long hair, but I mean he had talked before, so I'm just kind of confused as to why she would have that impression. But they're about to I guess go into I guess the bathing area or whatever together, and because she thought that he was a woman, and then she gets surprised when he goes into the male, like the male bathing
Yeah.
area. Um, so I don't really. Obviously it was a joke, but I just thought it was kind of stupid because like obviously like she was in the room where when Bob was talking and he has a male's voice, so I didn't really get that. I thought it was kind of dumb, but yeah. And then like we have the also have the scene where they reveal that Wangnan had a ring that he had dropped before, and it has the crest of the Jihad family
Uh-huh.
on it. And Baum like shows it to him, and I guess it's going to be important later. I don't know. Like I guess just showing that he is actually like associated with them, which of course makes him like I guess in a way it makes him Baum's
Yeah.
enemy,
It's
if he's like associated
yeah,
with them.
there's and of course Baum is going under a different alias. Like he calls himself Vala or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, well, but of course, like the show doesn't go out of its way to conceal uh Bomb's new identity. Like we already know it's him because they literally just showed flashbacks of him at least several times. So
right.
I mean, of course, like people who read the manhwa, uh, didn't think it was Bomb at first because they thought it was this completely different character until like much later. But of course, the anime just like
He does still look like
yeah, it's
Baum.
it's
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 just that
obvious it's him, like based on first glance, and not obviously, like, of course, like they immediately just showed off, like getting flashbacks of what happened with Rachel and all. But yeah,
mhm.
it's interesting to see Bomb uh it's like he's like also like a completely different character than what he was back in the first season. Obviously, something obviously some outside of what happened with him and Rachel, like something happened like during his training regiment with Fug or whatnot. But I guess we'll have
It's funny because it almost reminds me a little bit of like Aaron Yeager's character transformation from like season 3 of Attack on
yeah,
Titan to season 4, wherein all of a sudden it seems like he's a completely different
yeah.
person. Uh, like that's kind of how it feels with
Hmm.
Mom.
Yeah, so I mean, well, I think what was it? This new season is gonna be, I think, 12 episodes long. I, I can't really exactly remember, but
Yeah, probably as long as season 1
yeah.
was.
I mean, I'm still curious on whether or not they're gonna end up bringing back some of the from some of the characters from the previous season. I mean, I can't really say for sure
Yeah.
because like they're going out of their way to introduce us with a whole new cast of characters. Um, outside of Bomb.
I have done some like looking into like the manhwa and what people's opinions about it are, and they say that like the in the manhwa that they like to introduce a lot of different characters. So I guess we can probably expect there to be like quite a few characters that get introduced throughout the
Yeah.
series. Um, but the problem I have sometimes with them introducing so many characters is it's just hard to keep track of all of them. Um, as to who's who's important and who's going to be like I guess killed off, and um, apparently he does like the creator does like to kill off characters too. Um, so I guess we'll see. But I mean, I do like some of the new characters. I didn't mind the characters from season 1, but it is kind of weird how like it still feels like it's fairly early on in the story, and they're already doing like a pretty big time skip like this, and we really haven't gotten a lot of the characters that we even saw like in season 1. Um, and now we have like a new cast of characters. So yeah, I feel like they just need to, I don't know. Hopefully, we get to see the other characters from season 1, and I guess alongside the season 2 characters they've introduced
Mhm.
already. Um, but yeah, but yeah, I don't really have too much else to say about the episode, though. I don't know if you have anything else to say about it.
Yeah, I thought it was a great way to, to introduce us to, I guess, a brand new character like Wang Nan. It's obvious like he's gonna be an important character moving forward for this story arc, and of course, Bomb making his return is gonna be interesting. I mean, we'll still have to find
Hmm.
out, if they're gonna end up revealing what happened to him during that time skip, and what, of course,
Most
yeah, I
likely,
mean,
yeah.
of course, we sort of do know, like, why, why he's acting this way, and and why he's reluctant to trust anybody due to obvious reasons with his time with Rachel. But it seems
Hmm.
like by the end of the second episode, it seems like he's starting to open up a little bit to Wang Nan, but
Yeah.
there has to be more of a reason as to why Baam, wants to align with Fug's mission to destroy the Jihad family.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. But that all being said, until next time, we will see you all later.